Hello everyone, and welcome to the latest episode of the I Am video series in celebration of Black History Month. I'm George Cleveland, Vice President of Channel Operations for AT&T's prepaid portfolio, and I am honored to be your host for this video series where we will introduce you to 4 leaders making history in their respective fields. Our first guest is our very own Paula Jackson, Assistant Vice President of Human Resources. I hope you enjoy this edition of the I Am series, I Am Black History. Paula, thanks for joining us for our Black History Month.
You're welcome. Glad to be here.
Glad to have you. Tell us a little bit about your background.
So I'm from a very small town in Mississippi and actually went to college at the University of Mississippi and went to graduate school in Chicago, a school called Illinois Institute of Technology. I started with the company about 17 years ago and started supporting the AT&T prepaid org back in August of last year.
Who were some of your role models growing up?
So I would say pretty much my parents. They instilled in me and my siblings. I have 7 siblings.
Wow.
A sense of that we always had to work hard for whatever we wanted in life, and pretty much said, you know, as long as you work hard and focus on your goal, there's really nothing you can't do in life. So I would say they're at the top of the list.
When you think back over your career in HR, what comes to mind in terms of changes that you've seen that have really been a big impact as it relates to diversity in the workplace?
There was a gentleman actually from Morehouse. His name was Roosevelt Thomas, and he published a book called Beyond Race and Gender. And that was the first time I had really had an experience of hearing about diversity in the workplace. And so his book was research with many Fortune 500 companies, and it just really focused on the importance of diversity in the workplace and how that really drove improved profitability within an organization.
As you think about all of the young folks that are coming up through the ranks, and especially minorities that are coming into the workplace, what advice would you give to them as they're starting out their careers?
The most important thing I always try to give folks advice around is you have to always make sure you're doing the best job you can at the job that you have. Otherwise, you'll never get to other jobs or other dream jobs that you have in mind.
Great advice. So Paula, is there a particular point in history or Black history that really impacted your life and led to where you are today?
I can vividly recall my father and his brothers and my grandfather. They were very active in the civil rights movement, I would say in the 1960s and 70s. And just remembering all the things that they were willing to endure, all the negative things they were willing to endure to ensure that my family, as well as other African Americans, would have a bright future. And so I would say I wouldn't be where I am today without them.
When you think about 2008, what impact did having the first African American president have on you personally and professionally?
If you work hard, you have a goal out in front of you, then you can become anything you want to, including the President of the United States.
No doubt about it. That's great. Paula, thank you so much for spending time with us today and getting your name out there in AT&T prepaid portfolio. Enjoyed the time, so really appreciate it. And we will be back with you on next week for our second installment of the I Am series for Black History.